Java Tutorials. In this video tutorial, we'll talk about input-output redirection in Linux. So let's say if you want to execute some commands on the terminal, right, then you can see the output on the terminal itself. Let's say I would like to redirect output of the executed command or program somewhere in the file system, right? Then how we can do that? That's why we have input output redirection in Linux. Yeah, so I'm going to show you some couple of basically commands there we can make use of input output redirection. Yeah, so first of all here I'm going to execute a command is called ls -l. As you know, this command basically lists out all the directories and files in my home directory with all the details, right? -l is nothing but a long listing. So if you see all the details like all the directories and files with all kind of what kind of file is this, what type of file, and all kind of permissions, what is the username, group name, what's the size of the directory or files in the bytes, when this file was last modified or created, and this is the basically this column represents the directory as well as file names. These are the details, basically output of this ls -l. Let's say instead of just basically displaying this output on the terminal itself, I would like to redirect somewhere in the file system. Then how we can do that, right? So first of all, I'm going to clear this terminal and I'm going to write the same command ls -l, and at this time I don't want to display output on the terminal, so rather I would like to redirect into the some file system. So what you have to do, you have to write the command and then you have to write the greater than sign, and then after that you have to write basically any file name there you want to redirect output of this command. So let's say I'm writing out command output yeah, output.txt, right? So here one thing you have to keep in mind, as right now I'm in my home directory. So once I press enter, then first of all if this file already existing, then content of this file is going to replace by output of this command. If this file is not existing at all, then this file is getting created. So if I press enter, then you'll see in the behind I'm in my home directory. So here you could see this directory has created and you can see the content of this file. So this is nothing but the output of ls -l, right? Now I'm just returning to my terminal, and let's say I would like to concatenate some more stuff in this file. Let's say I'm going to basically use another command is called free -m. So free -m basically that will show you the all the details of basically free as well as used memory in your system, right? So if I press, then here you can see this will give the output something like that. But this output I would like to move into the some existing file, right? But I don't want to overwrite content of this file, right? So let me clear this terminal. So I'm going to write here free -m, and instead of greater than sign, if I write simply greater than and this file name, then content of this file is going to override by output of this command. That I don't want. So I want basically output of this command should be concatenated in this file. So that's why you have to write greater than and then file name, right? So I'm going to write existing file name, that is called command output.txt, and if I press enter, right, if I do cat, so you can see the output of you can see the content of this file using cat. So if I press enter, then here you can see this is the output which was basically redirected due to my previous command ls -l, and lower part this output basically inserted in this file because of this command free -l, right? So this is the one of the basically use case where we can basically redirect input output, right? Now some of the use case basically that we can associate input output redirection using the cat command as well, right? So here, first of all, a use case I'm going to show you. Here you can see I have two files, test1.txt and test2.txt. First of all, let me show you the content of this file. So I'm going to write cat test1.txt. If I show you the content of this file is this one. And similarly, if I look into the content of file test2.txt, then this is the, so here line 1, line 2 till line 7, there is some blank space as well, and here line 8 to line 14, that's the content of test2. Let's say I would like to basically create a new file. There I would like to basically put content of file test1.txt and test2.txt. Then how we can do that? So again, input output redirection concept comes into the picture. So I'm going to just clear the terminal, and here I'm going to write cat command for this, and first file is the test.txt, and then you have to give the space, then test2.txt, and then you have to give the greater than sign, and then you have to write the file name where you want to basically write the content of these two files into that output file. So I'm going to give the output.txt, right? So output.txt. So now in this case, what will happen? Content of these two files, right, will be written in this output.txt. Let me, so if this file is already existing in my home directory, then this file is going to overwrite, right? If you don't want to be overridden, if this file is already existing, then you have to write greater than, right? But as I know this file doesn't exist in my home directory, if I press enter, and you can see a file is created, output.txt. If I could open this file manually, here you can see basically content of these two files is overridden, and here this content came from the test1.txt, and this content came from the test2.txt. so this maintains the order as well, right? So above output is coming from the test1.txt, and lower one is coming from the test2.txt, because in terminal I have given this order. First I had given test1.txt and then test2.txt. so in that way you can basically write content of multiple files into the single file. Yeah. Now let's say let's say if I decide I have two files like test1, right? There you can see line 1 to line 7, and there is some blank spaces as well. Now I would like to write content of test2 into test1, but I don't want to overwrite this file, right? So whatever content is there in the test2.txt, that I want to copy in my test1.txt right after this line, right? So basically I don't want to overwrite, but I want to concatenate, right? So how we can do that? So for that you have to use the cat command. Then I'm going to write test2.txt, right? And here you have to give a greater than, because I don't want to overwrite, but I want to concatenate content of test2.txt into test1.txt, right? So test1.txt, right? So this is basically our output file, and this is basically our input file, you can consider. So content of test2.txt I would like to append or concatenate in test1.txt. If I press enter, and if I look into the content of test1.txt, then you'll see lower part basically came from the test2.txt, right? But here test2.txt will be completely unchanged. That shouldn't be changed, right? So let me show you cat test2.txt. that should not be changed. Here you can, this file is as it is, right? So that's all I wanted to show in this video tutorial, guys. In this video tutorial we have learned about input output redirection in Linux operating system, right? So guys, big thank you for watching this video, and see you there in the next video tutorial.